His subordinate asked, "What do you mean, Chief?" Young-soo answered, "The requirement for a raid is a minimum number of members. No matter how great Hunter Sung is, he still has to follow the established rules." Vice Guild Master Young-soo smiled and said, "You're right, Chief. Our guild lacks combat power, and his guild lacks members. It should be a mutually beneficial solution. If we succeed in cooperating with him, wouldn't we gain many benefits?" Young-soo replied, "That's correct. In fact, it's not just many benefits, but far too many benefits. Let's try to cooperate with him again." The scene then shifts to the school situation, where Jinwoo had finished off all the attacking monsters. Sometime later, security personnel had arrived at the location to evacuate the casualties. Many parents were seen crying upon seeing their deceased children, and it was reported that 213 students had died in this incident. Afterwards, Jinwoo was picked up by Chairman Go Gun-hee. Inside the car, the chairman said, "This incident is truly terrible. So many students became victims." Chairman Gun-hee then showed some data on his phone and said, "Look at this, Hunter Sung. Perhaps this event was predicted. This is a graph of the gates that have appeared in Seoul over the past 6 months. The number has increased. Moreover, it's not just in Korea. The number of gates appearing worldwide has also increased drastically, and at the same time, the number of people awakening is also increasing. The more gates appear, the more hunters are needed to handle them. It seems all these events are trying to balance each other out." Jinwoo thought to himself, "This all seems deliberate. The world is beginning to change." Chairman Gun-hee then handed a document to Jinwoo. "Look at this, Hunter Sung. Japan, America, China, Russia, France, England, Germany, and Indonesia. They have all submitted official requests to establish contact with you, Hunter Sung. All these countries seem intent on recruiting you to their nation. The decision is entirely yours, Hunter Sung. But if a hunter like you leaves this country, I feel Korea won't be able to adapt to the coming changes." A moment later, they arrived at the hospital where Jin-ah was being treated. Jinwoo got out of the car. Chairman Gun-hee spoke again. "Hunter Sung, we are prepared to offer anything to convince you to stay in Korea. So please tell us any request you have, Hunter Sung." Hearing this, Jinwoo replied, "In that case, can you grant me permission to enter gates alone from now on?" Of course, Jinwoo's request greatly surprised Chairman Gun-hee. "Do you wish to abolish the minimum party member rule for entering gates, Hunter Sung?" The minimum party rule is a safety measure we established to prevent hunters from losing their lives. If you ask to discard that rule, then... After a moment of thought, he was shocked and said, "Don't tell me your reason for making a guild was for this?" Jinwoo answered, "Exactly. I just want to do it alone. Is it difficult, Chairman?" Chairman Gun-hee replied, "It is difficult to abolish this regulation, but it's not impossible either. So leave this matter to me, Hunter Sung." Meanwhile, elsewhere, Yoo Jin-ho was seen calling his cousin who had just finished a shoot. Jin-ho said, "Hey, So-yeon, do you want to join our guild? Instead of being restricted in your father's guild and being a public ambassador there, wouldn't it be better to join our guild and gain freedom?" "Huh? What are you talking about, Jin-ho? Are you asking me to join a guild that isn't even official yet? Jin-ho, are you being scammed by some weirdo?" Jin-ho answered, "I think you'll be surprised when you hear who this weirdo is." So-hyun asked, "Well, who is the guild master, Jin-ho?" Jin-ho replied, "It's better if you don't ask too many questions and just come here quickly." Long story short, when Jinwoo arrived at his office, he saw a woman with Jin-ho. Jinwoo asked, "Jin-ho, is this the person you had in mind?" Jin-ho answered, "That's right, Hyung-nim. This is my cousin, Hyo So-yeon. Despite appearances, she is an A-rank hunter." On the other hand, So-yeon, who saw Jinwoo, was extremely shocked. "Wow, it really is Hunter Sung Jinwoo. He's the hunter who disappeared after disrupting the Lim Myung-sung press conference." Jinwoo said, "Why are you so surprised, So-hyun? Aren't you a celebrity who's more famous?" Afterwards, they sat on the sofa and began talking. Jinwoo asked, "Did Jin-ho tell you everything?" So-hyun answered, "Yes, you need a member, right?" Jinwoo asked, "But when you join our guild, news will surely spread widely. Are you okay with that, So-hyun?" So-hyun replied, "I don't mind at all. It's far better than joining the Yujing Guild." So-hyun then took out her phone and said, "Hunter Sung, may I take a photo with you to upload on Instagram?" Right then, the three of them took a selfie together. The scene then shifts to a meeting of Korean high-ranking officials. Chairman Go Gun-hee is seen discussing Hunter Sung Jinwoo's request to abolish the minimum member rule for raids. In other words, Hunter Sung Jinwoo submitted a request for a one-man raid. Hearing this absurd request, the attending officials were very angry and said, "What is Chairman Go Gun-hee talking about? It's unreasonable. Even if we count the summoned creatures as raid members, it still doesn't make sense." Shortly after the establishment of Hunter Sung Jinwoo's guild, this unreasonable matter immediately came up. What is the meaning of this? Was this Hunter Sung's goal from the beginning? The Hunter Association must be fair. If we approve this, it's the same as siding with Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Explain this, Chairman Go Gun-hee. Chairman Gun-hee said, "All right, this might sound unfair, but I want to grant a special privilege to Hunter Sung. Now I want to ask all of you, a riot with 20 hunters present and Hunter Sung Jinwoo alone. If you were to send them to the site of a dungeon break, which would you choose? You'd choose Hunter Sung Jinwoo, right?" Chairman Gun-hee then subtly mocked a senator present. "Isn't the senator's new apartment near the Hunters Guild? Since that area is close to the Hunters Guild, you surely want a place where security is guaranteed. Everyone wants the same thing. The wealthy will move to safer places where there is a strong individual to protect them. It's the same with other countries. Guilds from around the world are now aiming to recruit Hunter Sung Jinwoo to their countries. In this situation, you should be trying to make Hunter Sung Jinwoo stay in Korea. Will you let a repeat of Hwang Dong-soo moving to America happen? If you think this privilege for Hunter Sung Jinwoo is unfair, just imagine if a rank S gate suddenly appeared in our country. Who do you think can protect us all?" Think about that carefully. The scene shifts to Cha Hein's place. While lying down scrolling through Instagram, she suddenly saw something very surprising. She saw Hunter Sung Jinwoo in a photo with a famous celebrity, Yoo So-hyun. The post said, "This is my first day joining the Ajin Guild." Seeing this, Sung Chain looked very jealous. Long story short, a large gate appeared again at a construction site. Association personnel were seen securing the area. In front of the gate, the Ajin Guild, consisting of Jinwoo and Yoo Jinho, were already present. And just like that, Jinwoo had received special permission from the association to conduct a one-man raid. As Jinwoo and Jinho were about to start their raid, reporters suddenly swarmed towards Jinwoo. They said, "Hunter Sung, please look here. Please tell us your thoughts on the Ajin Guild's first raid and your relationship with founding member Yoo So-hyun." The reporters continued firing various questions. As the reporters crowded around, Woo Jin-chul came to secure the area. Before the raid began, Jinho asked, "Hyung-nim, are you sure we don't need to call a mining team?" "It will be difficult if I'm alone." Jinwoo then summoned his shadow soldiers and said that his shadow soldiers would handle the mining work. On the side, Jin-chul checked the energy of Jinwoo's summons. And while the ant shadow soldiers continued to eat their prey, Jinwoo got annoyed and kicked the ant shadow. "You always choose to eat? How many monsters are you going to eat, huh? And the ones over there too, don't be lazy, go mine the mana crystals." Seeing all this, Jin-chul was left speechless. This raid was insane. Both mining and collecting corpses, everything could be done by Sung Jinwoo's summoned creatures. This was no longer a one-man raid. "Now I know the reason the association chairman asked me to keep an eye on you during this raid. After all the guardian monsters were slaughtered, he now prepared to face the dungeon boss alone. There, the figure of a water dragon monster holding two trident weapons stood challenging Sung Jinwoo. On one side, Jinwoo then recalled all his shadow soldiers. Jin-chul, who saw this, asked, "Why are you recalling your shadow soldiers, Hunter Sung?" "I think your summons are enough to handle it." While taking out his dagger, Jinwoo answered, "If I rely too much on my summons, my sharpness will dull." And instantly, Jinwoo shot forward to attack the monster. On the other side, the monster also charged to attack with its weapon. Hearing this, Jinwoo then jumped to avoid it and climbed onto the monster's body. With incredible speed, Jinwoo slashed the monster's head, splitting it in two. Thus, the dungeon boss was successfully defeated. Seeing the high-level dungeon boss defeated so quickly, Jin-chul was so astonished his mouth hung open. A system message appeared. "You have successfully defeated the dungeon boss. You have leveled up. You have reached level 101. All your job skills have leveled up." Jinwoo was surprised that all his skills had leveled up. Even the cooldown for Shadow Exchange was reduced by 1 hour. If this skill levels up again in the future, no matter where I am, Mother and Gina will not be in danger. On the other side, Jinchul now stood near the dungeon boss's corpse and said, "The scales of this sea dragon are as strong as armor, but I never expected it could be destroyed by just a single dagger." And at that moment, Jinchul saw Jinwoo standing in front of the boss's corpse, say, "Rise." A black aura then emerged from the corpse. In other words, Jinwoo had successfully extracted the monster's shadow. Jinwoo then named it. On one side, Jinwoo was impressed with his shadow extraction's ability to turn such a strong monster into his subordinate. Jinwoo then looked at the cave ceiling starting to collapse and urged his companion to leave immediately. But because the monster's corpse was so large, Jinwoo summoned Tusk to carry it. And at that moment, the reporters outside the gate were startled by the appearance of Jinwoo's shadow soldier carrying a giant monster corpse. The reporters immediately photographed Tusk, Jinwoo, and the others who had completed the A-rank gate. After everything was finished, Jinchul immediately gave a report and recounted everything that happened to Chairman Go Gun-hee, with an expression that still showed goosebumps. Jinchul said again, "In my opinion, that wasn't a raid, it was a massacre." Seeing Jinchul so astonished, Chairman Go Gun-hee then told Jinchul to rest immediately. Chairman Go Gun-hee thought to himself, "I never thought Hunter Sung could do everything himself. Defeating monsters, mining mana crystals, and transporting corpses. He can do it all alone. It seems I was wrong to call him a one-man raid. It's more accurate to call him a one-man guild, and he is the guild itself." The scene then shifted to Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan. A giant red gate was seen appearing in the sky over Japan, and of course, all the citizens who saw it were frozen in shock at the terrifying sight. Meanwhile, at the presidential office, high-ranking officials were preparing to hold a meeting to discuss the S-rank gate that had just appeared. Before the meeting started, there was someone who was busy sneering. "Look, who's here? Aren't they the 4 S-rank hunters who were defeated on Jeju Island? They lost about 7 S-rank hunters, including Goto Ryuji. It seems the guild Frostfire is finished now." And of course, the hunters who heard the sneer were very annoyed and glared at those people with terrifying looks. But calmly, those people immediately ran away. Hoshino said, "Damn it, they're getting more and more arrogant just because Goto Ryuji is gone." And to make a long story short, the meeting began, attended by the chairman of the Hunter Association, all the guild masters of the major guilds, and high-ranking Japanese officials. A high-ranking official there was seen angrily saying, "Why hasn't the Hunter Association immediately taken action to handle the S-rank gate that appeared in Shinjuku? What if a dungeon break happens in our country?" The association chairman answered that it was impossible for S-rank hunters to handle this S-rank gate alone. "We must call upon a national-level hunter to handle it." A hunter said, "What if we ask for Thomas Andre's help?" Someone else replied, "Do you think our country still has the funds left to ask for Thomas Andre's help?" And with the increasing number of gates appearing all over the world, other countries are also busy asking for hunters from abroad. It seems difficult to ask for help from other countries. Sugimoto then replied, "It seems I know someone who can help. He is a master bearer, Yuri Orlov. I will immediately ask for his help." Meanwhile, on the other side, Jinwoo was now driving his car to go to his office. While driving, Jinwoo opened the inventory and took out the key to Karudanon. Because the condition for the key to open was reaching level 100. The key automatically opened after Jinwoo reached level 101. Jinwoo was already impatient to see what would happen next. To cut a long story short, Jinwoo arrived at his office. But when Jinwoo got out of his car, he saw Hunter Cha Hae-in there. On one side, Cha Hae-in was startled when she saw Jinwoo getting out of the car. She hurriedly tried to leave, but quickly Jinwoo approached her. Jinwoo asked, "Why are you trying to run away? And what brings you to our guild's office?" Seeing Jinwoo suddenly approach her, Cha Hae-in became flustered. She said, "No, my car was left in the parking lot." Jinwoo thought to himself, "So that's why, during the test that time, because I used Shadow Exchange to go to the training room at the association office, her car was left here." Cha Hae-in then said, "Do you have a moment, Hunter Sung?" And in her heart, she wondered, "Actually, I want to know, what was the meaning of the selfie with Sohyun on Instagram earlier? Why was she accepted as a member of his guild? What makes that woman superior to me? It's already clear that I am a prime ace who is better than her. Maybe they are already dating? Ah, forget it. I don't want to keep thinking about it." Cha Hae-in then said, "Hunter Sung, actually I have a message from Hunter Min Byung-gu to convey to you." "About your power, Hunter Sung." Hearing that, Jinwoo was shocked. Wait a moment, let's discuss this inside the office. The two of them then entered the office together. Since there were only the two of them in the office, Cha Hai-in became very nervous. After that, Jinwoo asked about what really happened and how Hunter Min Byung-gu could convey a message about his power to her. Cha Hai-in then told what happened at that time. So a few days ago, I heard Hunter Min Byung-gu's voice appearing in my subconscious. He held my hand and looked very scared. He then said, "Tell Hunter Sung that he must be careful with his power." When I was resurrected, someone pulled me from the endless darkness. But what came back to life wasn't like my original self. My consciousness and thoughts were there, but I felt my eyes were dark and I only moved according to his will. However, a feeling of happiness from serving him emerged, followed by fear. That power is too strong and also dangerous. He should realize it too. To cut a long story short, in his KS sedan, Jinwoo, together with Jinho, had entered the dungeon again. But unlike other hunters on raids, now they were instead like having a picnic, chatting and enjoying the food they brought. For a moment, Jinwoo thought about Cha Hai-in's words earlier. If what Cha Hai-in said is true, but whether it's true or not, I must know the essence of my own power. Rather than me constantly trying to get stronger, knowing the source of my power is far more important. While relaxing, Jinho and Jinwoo watched the shadow soldiers fighting monsters in this dungeon. Jinho then asked about Gina's condition after the previous school massacre incident. Jinwoo answered that she just needed enough rest. Besides, there's already Baru, the strongest guard, by her side now. I don't need to worry anymore. Jinwoo then winked and activated the skill, Shared Senses. With this skill, Jinwoo could see through the eyes of his shadow soldiers. Jinwoo then looked through the shadow he had assigned to guard his sister. And at that moment, Jinwoo could see what Baru was seeing now. There, Gina was seen sleeping soundly in front of the TV, while Baru was now busy watching a Korean drama. Jinwoo then also looked through the shadows in other places. He saw his mother shopping at the market. Next, Jinwoo also saw the situation with Yeonho, who was sparring with Choi Jong-in. And following that, Jinwoo also saw Hunter Cha Hai-in's situation. But surprisingly, Jinwoo saw Cha Hai-in, who was taking a bath. Jinwoo's face instantly flushed red, and he canceled the skill. Jinwoo thought to himself, "It seems I have to apologize to her and deactivate something." On one side, Jinho then asked, "Hyungnim, have you heard the news that an S-rank gate appeared in Shinjuku, Japan? It seems a dungeon break will occur in less than 3 days. They seem to be trying to gather hunters from all over the world. Haven't they contacted you, Hyungnim?" Jinwoo answered that he had also received an invitation. "But there's more important work I have to finish first." Jinwoo then checked the system and saw the countdown for the gate to enter, the Quill of Cartenon remaining, 26 hours. Jinwoo felt, this is like an invitation from the system, the place where I will get all the answers about my true power. After Jinwoo and Jinho finished eating, the two of them continued working. The scene then returned to the Japanese hunters who had met Yuri Orlov to negotiate. Yuri Orlov was a very powerful S-rank support-type hunter from Russia. Now Sugimoto, together with Hoshino and Tawada, were negotiating to hire Yuri Orlov's services. There, Orlov said, "As you know, I am among the best support hunters in the world. I've read the data you sent. It's the right choice for evacuating citizens as quickly as possible. But is it true that Japan can only deploy 6 S-rank hunters?" Sugimoto answered, "You're right. Because to handle the A-rank gates appearing all over Japan, we have mobilized almost all of our S-rank hunters from various guilds to handle them. So that's why we are very short on strength." While drunk, Orlov answered, "That's very bad. How can you protect your country in such a condition? How about $3.6 billion per year, or $10 million per day? With that, I will hold the gate for as long as you want." Hearing that amount, the offer made Sugimoto very shocked. "Are you crazy? $10 million per day?" Orlov smiled and replied, "For just $3.6 billion, you can save your country. That's even cheaper than Thomas Andre's rate. So, will you protect your country for $10 million a day, or just abandon it?" Kuhahahahahahaha. Sugimoto said, "Are you that confident in your ability?" Orlov replied, "Of course. I'm even better than having to hire hundreds of lackeys like the hunters behind you." And of course, Hoshino and Tawada, who heard that, were very angry. "Did you just insult us, you damn bastard? Even though I don't understand your language, I still get what you mean." While drunk, Orlov then released his barrier's power to trap Hoshino and Tawada. Orlov said, Don't move an inch without my permission. Get out of my barrier if you can. And at that moment, Hoshino and Tawada were completely unable to move and were utterly astonished. How is this possible? How is it possible a hunter like me can be rendered so helpless? Damn it, this feels so heavy. Sugimoto said, all right, I've verified your ability, but I don't know if the government will approve that amount or not, so give me a moment to call the officials. Sin then returned to Jinwoo's location at his apartment. He then approached his mother to hurry and leave. A message from the system appeared. The gate location to enter the Cartenon Temple would appear in a matter of seconds. Jinwoo then strengthened his resolve and took out a key. After the countdown finished, the location for using the key was announced. Jinwoo immediately headed to where the gate appeared, and at that moment, a gate materialized in the area of Jinna's ruined school. Association personnel were already securing the area. One officer there, puzzled, remarked that a gate had appeared at this location twice now. Fortunately, the school was already closed. Otherwise, they would have been overwhelmed by crowds of students. Moments later, someone arrived at the gate location. An association officer stopped the person saying, "Hey, you can't come here." It turned out that person was Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Jinwoo then asked, "How long has this gate been here?" The officer replied that it had appeared 3 days ago. This, of course, shocked Jinwoo. "Damn it," he said. "I was told this gate wouldn't appear before the location information was released, but it appeared 3 days ago." The officer there said, "This is just an ordinary C-rank gate. About 2 hours ago, a party already entered it." Hearing this, Jinwoo firmly stated, "You must stop this raid immediately. This raid is extremely dangerous. If it's not stopped now, everyone will die." The officer replied, "But this is just a standard rank gate." "What do you mean everyone will die, Hunter Sung?" Jinwoo then intended to enter the gate to order the red party to retreat immediately. The officer there, still confused, asked, "What are you actually doing, Hunter Sung? Please explain." Jinwoo answered, "There's no time left to explain." Jinwoo then entered the gate. Meanwhile, inside the dungeon, the hunters seemed to have finished defeating the monsters and had reached a large gate ahead of them. Unfortunately, they were completely unable to open it. As the hunters were thinking of a way to open the gate, Jinwoo suddenly arrived from behind. Jinwoo then stated that beyond that gate was a trap. The hunters, seeing someone arrive from behind, were very surprised. One hunter asked, "How do you know it's a trap?" Jinwoo replied, "Because I am a survivor of a double dungeon. This place is very dangerous. From here, I will take over. You all should just go back." As Jinwoo approached the gate, the hunters began to realize that person was Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Once Jinwoo stood before the gate, he wondered why it wasn't opening like before. A system message then appeared. "The Queen Cartenon Temple is currently locked. Please use the key to open it." Jinwoo then took out the black key he had obtained and used it to open the gate. The hunters who saw the gate open were utterly shocked. "What? How did you open that, Hunter Sung? Didn't you say it was still locked?" Party leader Wright then approached Jinwoo and said, "Excuse me, Hunter Sung, this dungeon was chosen by our guild. You have no right to order us back. Just because you are an S-rank hunter doesn't mean you can do as you please." Jinwoo paused for a moment and said, "Fine, I won't warn you again. If any of you want to enter, go ahead." Boldly, one hunter stepped forward and said, "All right, I'll go in." A system message appeared. An individual without a key is attempting to enter the temple. Access denied. After taking a few steps past the doorway, the hunter was suddenly attacked by a giant stone statue. Fortunately, Jinwoo quickly pulled the hunter out. The giant statue stared at the hunters. Jinwoo said, "Everything inside is like that monster. Do you still want to go in? Listen carefully. From this point on, all of you, get out and contact the Hunter Association. Report that a double dungeon has appeared again." After that, Jinwoo began walking into the Cartenon Temple. Instantly, the entrance gate closed shut, and just like before, the fires illuminating the temple lit up one by one. The giant statue stood there, exactly as they had before. Jinwoo continued walking and said, "Once again, I've truly returned. But it's different from last time. Now I can clearly feel it. These statues are neither monsters nor living creatures. They are merely someone's puppets. There is only one presence here emitting magical energy in this chamber, and you are the real enemy." However, the statue remained silent. Jinwoo addressed the statue and said, "Are you still pretending? Answer my question.